All right, guys, we got another video. This one is titled, I Hate My Upstairs Neighbors. Let's check this one out.
Listen, I love my apartment, but I hate my upstairs neighbor. YouTube, homebody Pierre here. Peace, love, bless. Lord knows how grateful I am for my apartment. I love my apartment so much, but I hate my upstairs neighbor. Out of all people that could live above me, I had to get this person. Like out of everyone. Yo, I've met a few people in my apartment complex. They seem to be nice individuals. They don't live above me, right? So I don't know if they're necessarily considerate. I don't know if they're, just let's say a team player, right? Because living in an apartment complex, this is a community. Like, this is a team. We all should be working together to make the living space as comfortable as possible, in my opinion, at least. Let me take a deep breather because I'm already kind of worked up. I'm stressing.
Look, man, I can tell you right now from experience, it's been a while, but if you are looking at moving into an apartment building, the best advice that I could give you is, most people hate third floors. They rather have the first floor, but I'd rather have the third floor, because if you've never had anybody who lived above you, you will never know the stress, especially with like small kids. It would drive you insane. And I've heard stories, and you see it on the news all the time, where apartment people who live there get into some disputes, and some of them are life ending. Okay. And I'm not saying anyone deserves to die over, being a loud neighbor, but I will say I do understand. Let's continue.
Scressing with a K, scressing.
My nigga, chill.
My upstairs neighbor is the most inconsiderate human in Atlanta, but also maybe in the entire universe. I kid you not, Monday through Friday, she's on the phone every single moment that I get home. So I work from 6 a.m. Well, I get up at 5 a.m., get to work around 6, and I work from 6 a.m. to either 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday, excuse me. The moment I walk into my door, trying to have a little peace and quiet, she's upstairs, either cussing somebody out on the phone or yelling at somebody at the phone, talking loud on the phone. I kid you not, from the moment I walk in the door, whether it be 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., well past midnight to 1 a.m. What? Every single day, Monday through Friday. Our quiet hours are from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Quiet hours in an apartment means designated times when residents are expected to keep noise to a minimum so others can rest or sleep comfortably. Okay.
Yo, I had to start sleeping with earbuds in. I literally, every night I put earbuds in. And even then, sometimes I could still hear her because I'm getting woken up from her obnoxious laughter. She laughs like a hyena. I'm not even joking. She laughs like a hyena mixed with SpongeBob mixed with Wiz Khalifa. It's a nightmare. And she even threw a party last night. Last night I'm sleeping. I'm getting some great sleep. All of a sudden I just hear doom, 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 like a stampede going up the stairs. Her unit door opens. If I had to guess, maybe 5 to 7 people just stomping. And mind you, we don't have the best built, apartments in general, but 5 to 7 people, if I had to guess, you can just hear different voices stomping. They turn on a speaker, music starts playing, everybody's like turned up. I'm like, yo, it's 3 in the morning. Like, there's no consideration. This person who lives above me, she has absolutely no consideration ever. And I've even written her a letter before, because not only does she talk on the phone all day, every day, Monday through Friday, on the weekend, She tends to start her mornings early by blasting some type of music. I promise it's either Sexy Red, Glorilla, or some form of trap music.
Nigga, that is a nightmare. Okay, that is your typical low-hanging fruit of sounds like hot garbage. And you just had the tragic luck of being up under her. Um, Damn, and I wonder what she does if she's always on the phone. Does she, I really want to know what kind of apartment complex that is, because is that an apartment complex that accepts, assistance and things of that nature? And if it is, that's already an L. I would have never went there, and I would advise anybody not to do that, because that is your first mistake right there. Okay. Because if you can sit there all day and talk on your phone and you're paying $150 a month, then that is a problem. Okay. And when you have neighbors like this, it never ends well. It never ends well. And I know if my lease was up, I would be getting the hell up out of there. Okay. And definitely next apartment you get, make sure it's a 3rd-story apartment, and make sure you are on the top. That's all I can tell you. Or even move into another unit and say, hey, I need another unit, but I need a 3rd floor. And more people are starting to actually accept these 3rd floor apartments, because if you don't, it can cause drama. It can cause trouble. You never know. You go up there, you trying to sleep, you can't. You knock on the door up there, you try to ask them, hey, could you keep it down? Next thing you know, the guy jumps out. Next thing you know, you're into it with another guy, yada, yada, yada. Or you get into it with the girl, she calls somebody over, next thing you know, you're on the first 48. Like, these are things and scenarios that you can put yourself in just by trying to live up under or close to somebody else. And that's a tragedy. I'm an introvert by nature, guys. And so, I knew that couldn't be me. We had to get an apartment that was below somebody for a short period of time because we were in between places, and we needed an apartment ASAP. And this was the only place we could get. And we were waiting on a townhouse. And so while we were in this apartment, which was just a 2-bedroom, and we stayed under somebody, and we were only there for maybe 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. But it was treacherous. I couldn't get anything done. There was 2 toddlers, okay, who stayed there. And what's so crazy is the person who stayed above us, she worked for the actual complex. So they were her toddlers, right? And so they were just boom, 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 not giving a damn, okay? And I'm not going to lie to you, man, I almost lost my temper, because I guess the grandfather was watching them and he was just letting them do whatever. So one day I was trying to just get some sleep because I had work, and I just couldn't sleep. And so I went up there, man, and I was going to do something. I don't know what I was going to do, but I was like, yo, I never want to feel like this again. Okay. And luckily, our townhome became available, and we were able to move in like shortly after that. I could see why people get into it and why these things happen, guys, because you're constantly hearing this noise. You're constantly, being disturbed. You can get nothing done. Home is supposed to be where your salvation is. It's supposed to be a place where you can go and relax and get things done, right? Or just rest, right? And if you can't do that, yeah, there's going to be problems.
Every early morning on the weekend. So I wrote her a letter, saying, hey, this is your neighbor below you. I understand that we live in apartment complexes and there will be a little noise here and there. I'm understanding. But do you mind abiding by the quiet hour rules, please? I work early in the morning. I need to get rest. I wake up early. Do you mind, just abiding by the quiet hour rules? And then I also did mention she's a bit loud when she talks. Could she please just tone it down a little bit, right? She wrote me a letter back and was like, hey, I apologize. Sorry for the inconvenience. She's not sorry. Like, it never changed. Honestly, I feel like it got worse. Like, every single day, it's like she started putting a little bit more step into her stomp. Started to turn the volume up just a little bit more. Started to invite a few more people. Like, it's gotten progressively worse. And it's genuinely stressing me out because I love my space. I love the progression of my space. I feel like my aesthetic is coming together. Before living here, I was sleeping on my friend's couch, then another friend's couch, then my aunt's floor, almost my car. And I landed this space by the grace of God. And now I deal with this obstacle of an obnoxious upstairs neighbor. And listen, I know in the grand scheme of things, this could probably be minuscule to somebody out there, right? Because it's like, hey, at least I'm not on the street. Right. You can always compare what you have going on to other scenarios, but I'm paying hard-earned money to live somewhere where I barely have any peace and quiet. Mind you, once again, this is an apartment complex, so I understand I won't always have peace and quiet. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm just asking for some consideration. That's it. Some basic consideration.
When you're dealing with the Ratchets, you're not going to get it. And that's just what it is, man. I hate to say it, but it's real. It's real, man. It is. There are certain people, our own people, if I'm being honest, that that you can't talk to, you can't reason with. And, you know, that's why a lot of people, even black people, don't want to be around their own people, because a lot of them move like that. And you can get into an altercation by just trying to convey something, and you're being polite and doing it. In other words, you just can't win. There's no way you can win in that scenario. And it is what it is, guys. So the best thing I could do if I was him was to remove myself from that situation before things get drastically out of hand. That's just my opinion.
This is a community. This is, like a team, like I stated. So we all have to work together. It's not like we have individual houses. If you had your own house, you could blast your music. If you had your own house, you could stomp as loud as you want on the floor. You could cuss out whoever you want to cuss out on the phone, or yell at and laugh obnoxiously. But when you have somebody who's living below you specifically, you have to be considerate. You have to keep them in mind. I've been really just trying to meditate when I come home. Like, even on my drive here, I find myself mentally prepping because I'm genuinely frustrated that I can't come home. Mind you, I work construction, so I'm doing hard manual labor throughout my day, different weather conditions, whether I'm working outdoors in the heat, working outdoors in the freezing cold, dirty, dusty, et cetera, et cetera. So when I come home, I just want a little bit of peace and quiet and a little bit of just sanity. And I come home to noise. I come home to just somebody who's obnoxious and who isn't mindful of somebody who's below them. And I've reached out to my property manager, leasing agent, however, you want to title them, reached out multiple times, several times. I've sent them videos because even at one point, sorry guys, if I'm rambling, I'm kind of passionate about this because, I want some peace and quiet. I want my rent money to mean something, right? Like my hard-earned work outside, and then my consistent rent payments on time. Like, I want to be able to enjoy some peace and quiet and enjoy some sanity. Once again, I'm sure some other words will come to my mind, but right now I'm just I'm freestyling this, but this is exactly how I feel. I'm speaking from the heart. Recently, I'm here in my apartment. All of a sudden I hear like a splash noise. And I'm like, what is that? I open my door and I look up and there's just like some fluid coming down my door. And I'm like, what? What is this? And I kind of like smell it a little bit because it's on my door and it smells like a mixture of bleach and something else. I'm not sure what it was. So I was like, so I walked up there. Outside of me ever leaving a letter at her doorstep, I've never actually knocked on her door. So this time I actually walked up and I knocked on her door. And sure enough, she got quiet. Like, I know she's up there because she's been stomping and yelling all day. But the moment I walk up there and knock on her door, quiet. So I knock again. And I'm not pounding on the door like I want to. I'm just like, because I'm like, you can't just dump splash liquids down below you and just be like, oh, okay, whatever, don't care. They'll deal with it. Because not only was it running down my door, there's a puddle in front of my door.
Yeah, that nigga retarded.
What if I would have walked out of my unit, slipped on that, and broke my neck, or slipped on and twisted my ankle? Seriously, like, it's gotten to a point where I'm like, yo, I've been considering breaking my lease.
You what?
You know,
That's
I
how
mean,
bad
the
it is,
logical
man,
side of me is
sometimes.
like, all right, I'm not doing that because I just renewed my lease. And I was praying, praying that she wouldn't renew hers. I was praying, I'm like, God, please let some little old person who's just considerate move above me, and I can barely hear them. But
Yeah,
that
couldn't even do that.
that prayer wasn't answered.
He tried. I said it earlier, man. I would try to request another unit. But he learned a hard lesson, man. Anytime you go for an apartment, I guarantee you he will. I guarantee he will volunteer to try to get a third floor, second floor unit, like to make sure you're at the top. Okay, because at least he knows that, and most people do understand this, to be considerate. Like, hey, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do jumping jacks. You know, if I'm at the third floor and I got people underneath me, I'm gonna, figure out something else. These are just things that common sense, people with common sense would just do, right? But when you're ratchet and you don't give a damn, and you listen, when she said when he said she was listening to the people that she was listening to, I already knew, and how she was always on the phone, I already knew what type of person this was, and it's bad. It's bad. You don't want to be around those types. So he learned his lesson, I'm quite sure.
And it's okay. I'm like, yo, God, are you testing like my patience? Like, am I not as patient as I think I am? Is this like an obstacle that I have to overcome? I don't know, man, but yeah, so she blasts music all day. She talks on the phone. Excuse me, she talks all day. She blasts music all day on the weekends. She smokes weed. It comes through my bathroom vents. Like, I don't smoke. So I go in my bathroom at times and I feel like I just got hit with a cloud of weed. My parents came and visited one time and they could smell the weed. It's embarrassing, and it's unfair to anybody who doesn't indulge in those things. So I just got to keep taking deep breathers. And I got to stop saying that's something I'm going to practice on. Stop saying as much and like as much. But anyways, love my space. I hate my upstairs neighbor. Hate is a strong word. I'm aware of what I'm saying. I hate my upstairs neighbor.
Damn.
Yeah.
Every time I see her too, I've never spoken to her. Every time I see her, and I know it's her because one time I got out of my vehicle in the parking lot and she did as well. And when I was walking towards my apartment, she was ahead of me and walked upstairs and walked into the unit. And I was like, okay. And mind you, she was on the phone too. So I was like, all right, that's my upstairs neighbor.
It's fucking
Every time I see her, I've seen her
trash.
5 times. I kid you not. Every time I see her, she has a bonnet on and pajamas on. Every single time. Like, even seeing that, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I told you, man. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make it up. On the phone all day, bonnet glued to the head. Yeah, man. PJ bottoms on and a t-shirt. Guys, that is your stereotypical, yeah, ratchet starter kit right there, man. And that's just, it is what it is. Every time I see a bonnet, man, I throw up in my mouth a little bit, right? You go to Walmart, you go to the grocery store, they walking up in there, pajama bottoms, house shoes, bonnet. It's crazy work, man. Get out of there, man.
You are somebody who just doesn't care. I'm going on a bit of a tangent now, but I just want to be able to enjoy my apartment, have somebody who lives above me that is understanding that this is a community. Somebody lives below them, so they're not going to aimlessly stomp and shout and disrupt the peace of the person below them.
And they want to be respected. These are the women that claim they want to be respected. They can't get no respect. They can't do this. They can't do that. But you can't even respect your neighbor. You can't even respect a gesture, somebody coming up here, being polite with it, right? You can't even do that. And to spite him, you want to go and you want to turn it up even louder. You want to turn it up a notch. These are the type of people you have to deal with sometimes. And this is the type of people that make me, make my being an introvert just more intense. It keeps me, the way that I am. I don't have patience for it, man. And so the only way that I know how to solve that is do whatever I need to do to not put myself in a position like that. And, he's learning that now. So whenever it is time to move again, I guarantee you, if it's an apartment, it will not be underneath somebody. I promise you that. It only takes one bad time, because you could go years, right, and not have a neighbor like that until you do. And that is always going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
I don't know if any of you will relate to this video. This is more so just a vent, a much needed vent. And yeah, I've honestly been online just browsing apartments, just trying to get a idea of what area I would like to live in next. If I want a studio apartment again or a 1-bedroom, I see myself doing a studio again, because I've always loved compact spaces, like minimal spaces. And I'm a single man. I don't need too much space. So yeah, I love my apartment, but I hate my upstairs neighbor.
And that's going to do it. I want to thank everybody for watching the content. If you did enjoy it, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button. Your boy drops content every single day on this channel. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.